Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be talking about how to use trig ratios to find a missing angle measure. So how to use sine, cosine, tangent to find a missing angle. So similar to the problems you see up on the screen here. For your Ricasso Recap, you should already know the sine or the trig ratio, sine, cosine, tangent. You should know how to solve equations and you need a calculator to work with. If you want refreshers on these two topics, there'll be videos in the description below. Feel free to watch those before you start this video. And there'll also be a link for the Desmos calculator, which is the one that I recommend. Speaking of the calculator, whatever calculator you're using, you need to make sure, I'll show you on the Desmos calculator, you need to make sure that you are in degrees, okay? So in Desmos, this is how you change it from radians to we want degrees. And whatever calculator you're using, make sure it's in degrees, otherwise you're just going to get the wrong answers for every problem. All right, so here is our problem. It says, find the measure of angle U. So we are looking from the perspective of angle U here. So they give us the opposite side and they give us the adjacent side. So we need to think to ourselves, what trig ratio uses opposite and adjacent? That would be the tangent, right? So the tangent of U is equal to the opposite side, which is 5, over the adjacent side, which is 7. Cool. All right, this is an equation. So the question is, how are we going to get this U by itself? Well, if you go back to very basic equations, something like this, you say, how do I get the x by itself? Well, you do minus 2 on both sides. You do minus 2 because it's the inverse of plus 2, okay? That's how you sort of solve equations. You do the reverse, the inverse operation. So what we want is to do the inverse of tangent. And so there is such a thing. It looks like this, okay? It's a tangent with a -1 at the top. All right, so we're going to do the inverse tangent. And just like over here, what you do on one side, you do on the other side, right? So if I do inverse tangent on the left, I must also do inverse tangent on the right. Now, just like with the 2's, they essentially cancel out, so they undo each other. So here, the inverse tangent of the tangent are going to go away, so we're left with U is equal to this right here, this inverse tangent -1 5/7 is something you can type into your calculator. I'll show how to do it on the Desmos calculator really quick. Maybe the easiest way is to go down here, you go to functions, and here is the inverse tangent function. Okay, you could also type this out, but this is nice with the parentheses, and then it's just 5/7, and this is telling me that the angle measure is 35 point blah, 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 blah. So 35.53, when we go back, it says round to the nearest tenth. So our final answer for angle U is 35.5 degrees. And so whenever it's, inverse sine or inverse cosine, whatever function you have, you just do the inverse of it. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem here is the work. Should have gotten that angle B is equal to 25.4 degrees. And for the second problem here is the work. Should have gotten angle A is 66.4 degrees. All right, that's it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.